Hello, you. I'm Dima, and I am about to live code something. This video is for the sake of my own practice. I want to become better at live coding. I want to become better at English too, because English is not my native language, and I want to learn how to live code and use English to describe what I'm doing simultaneously. So please, this video is, I'm not gonna edit this video in some sort, or it's not a pre-planned video. I'm just going to do some things and here and comment them. So if you find this video helpful, great. If not, again, I'm not recording this video to teach you anything. So if you want to learn anything, just go to my main channel, Dimael, and this is where I upload videos that are planned, that are well made, that are edited, so that I'm not wasting your time. Okay, that being said, let's do something today. I'm gonna set up a timer for 30 minutes. So for this video, I'm assuming that I'm gonna write some PHP code. So I'm assuming that you have a local web server installed and PHP configured so that you can run in the browser PHP scripts, and we'll work on from that. I'm not going to describe how to install, how to configure a PHP on your computer, on your local machine. If you want to, you can go and find such video on my main channel, Dimael. There is one, or like just search on YouTube or use Google for that. To be honest, I don't like this hustle of installing and configuring PHP. I'm not a system administrator. I am a software developer. I enjoy writing the actual code, creating the actual software, more than this administrative hustle. But still, to be able to run the code, I need to install the software. So it's just a need, not a desire. Okay, so in what I have, I'll use PHP Storm for this video. If you're using another code editor, that's fine. I have PHP with help of XAMPP installed on my computer. So this is a good actually piece of software to be able to, if you want to use something and you don't have PHP pre-installed, use XAMPP. So it's configured to, by default, it goes to, I can run PHP scripts starting from localhost, which is on the port 80, and we don't need to write 80 this port because this is where the browser just forwards are us by default. So then it's the learn PHP folder, live PHP here, and the folder is empty. So starting from this point, I am going to assume that you're completely new to PHP. You have installed this web server, it's configured, and now you're able to run PHP scripts, and that's it. You have no prior knowledge of PHP, but you have knowledge of HTML. This is important. So first things first, we need to create a file that will be our program, that will be our script. And usually you start with a file that's called index dot, and it'll have the PHP extension. So PHP Storm recognizes that extension and instantly assigns this PHP script icon to the file, but it's just for us, Visual 8 and nothing more. This is an empty file. There's nothing here. And for us to be able to write any PHP code, we need to start with an opening PHP tag. We need to tell, oh, this is interesting, why there's a gap here. What's, this is weird. Okay, for there was some little gap there, and now it's, I remember. So we need to start, we need to tell that we need to say that, okay, now we're gonna write this is gonna be a PHP code. So we do that with the help of PHP tags. This is an opening PHP tag. And if all that we do in the file, we write PHP code and there's nothing else, we can skip the ending, the closing PHP tag in this file. So this is the closing PHP tag, and PHP Storm tells me, it's smart, it tells me that this is a redundant closing tag because of we're allowed to not have it here. But so that you know, this is an opening PHP tag and this is a closing PHP tag. An opening PHP tag, it resembles a little an HTML tag. It resembles a little like an XML tag, but still, so it consists of an opening bracket, question mark PHP, then our code, and then question mark closing angle bracket. Okay, so let me remove the closing PHP tag because we don't need it. And now we can write some PHP commands here. The first thing that every self-respecting beginner and also educator and teacher does in their first program is that they output something. They show some things in the browser, and almost always it's some very simple text. We are not going to disrespect that tradition. So first of all, let me show you what's going to happen if we have a lot of just blank lines in the file. Why not? I will try. Okay, so I'm going to refresh this page, and now, and let me deliberately state that we want to run the index.php file, and there is nothing, a blank page. That's because all these lines, they are just empty. There are no instructions to PHP, and we are allowed to have like as many empty lines as we want. So it just does nothing. 2, let's show something in the browser. Let's send something to the browser from our PHP script. So to show a message in the browser, we can do it in many ways, but the most practically the command that is used on practice like the most is the echo command. So I just wrote echo. This is a keyword, just like echo, then space, and then I'm gonna output a message, and this is okay. And the message will be. What do we want? Let's find inspiration in the emojis. So let's find the one that I prefer. Okay. Let's go to the moon. And now, okay, so our message is an emoji, then let's go to the moon, an emoji. And we need to, at the end of this, after this message, we need to put a semicolon. This is the rule in PHP. So we have this command instruction, echo, so show this message. The message is this, and we put the message inside double quotes or single quotes, but we'll talk about this later, and then semicolon, the end of, it's like a period in a sentence. So now, and PHP Storm auto saves the file when I go outside of this of the editing of the file. So for example, when I switch to the browser, the file loses focus and PHP Storm saves the file, which is very, once you get used to it, it's a very convenient feature. And when I switch to some code editors like VS Code, where I need to save manually, this becomes very frustrating missing this feature. So, but still, let's refresh the page, and there you go. Here is our message. Let's go to the moon, and emojis. This means that our script, it's not the moon actually, this is a coin, but I confused the moon. This coin looks like the moon. So this means that we see the message that the browser successfully sent a request to our web server, which then executed this index.php file, this code or script, and this script ran this echo command and sent to the browser this string. So this echo command well, first of all, you can see how it looks. So there's just echo. We can have or don't have the space here, but it looks a little nicer to have a space. So we can put as many spaces as we want. It does not affect any the behavior, but the good formatting would be to put a space after the echo command. So this echo keyword, then I pass this string, that I'm passing the string to the echo command, and the string here is enclosed in the double quotes, and so this says, okay, now we're gonna start the string, then we write our message, or now we are going to write our message. We're going to start. So from now on, we're going to write something, and then we write our message, and then we close. So this is the end of our message, and then semicolon. That is the end of this instruction, this echo instruction. Well, and that's it. This is it. And congratulations, you run your first. Congratulations. And really, congratulations. This is your first script. It is just a simple script that outputs a message. But when you work as a software developer, most of the time you output some things. It's just the result of different, very, very complex programs. It's just some sort of an output. We want to show some things to the user. So yes, it is very simple, but still it's like the foundation. It is the heart and soul of a program, PHP script. What are we going to do next? So we can output strings, and I feel a little tired, and probably I need to eat something because my brain doesn't work. What's next? Let me show you how to create a variable in PHP. So a variable in PHP, I will first show you how to create and use this thing that is called variable, and then I will explain you what a variable is after you see the results, after you see how it works. So let's say we have the thing that is called message, so our message, and what we want to do is we want to store somewhere our message before we echo it. So this is a variable, and we put some data in the variable. So this data will be our string, and notice that again, there is this semicolon. So what we do here is we say, okay, we want to put our message inside a container, a variable, and this variable, it has the name message, and all the variables in PHP, they start with this $sign. And now we want to, let's give the echo command. Let's pass to the echo command this message variable instead of the string. And if I run the script again, like this, so nothing has changed. But now, what I can do is I can do a lot of things with variables. And actually, at this point, you know too little to use to see the power. So let's expand your knowledge. Let's say there is a variable called age, and I want to put there a number, 34. This is how old I am. So I'm 34, a 34-year-old programmer, software developer. And now this age variable has 34. And if I echo this variable and refresh the page, there is this number 34. Great. But what if I want to say, let's go to the moon after the age, after you reach the age of, and, or just after, and we want to put the age. And these double quoted strings, we can do an interesting thing. I can just put a variable here, again with double quoted string. And now let's echo the message and see what happens. Well, so now the message is, let's go to the moon after 34. So what I did is I created this variable, and I stored there. So this this is a variable. This is how you create a variable. Then this equal sign, one equal sign, means that store whatever is to the right. And to the right now is this number 34. So it's in the age variable. Then I created another variable and I said store whatever it is to the right. And to the right, there is this string, there is this our message where we say, okay, let's go to the moon after, and then we can tell, then we put our age inside the string. Great. And after that, I say echo message, and we can see the message here. So this is a string. This is a string is a data type, is a type of data in PHP that where we can put any sorts of characters, and we can put their emojis, as you can see. We can put their letters of like English letters or letters of other languages. I have, for example, let's switch to the Ukrainian, as I say, Привіт. Як справи? And this is Cyrillic messages, so it's probably if you know only English and if you don't know Ukrainian, so you don't know what the hell is this, but you can put anything. So if you want to put Chinese hieroglyphs here, you can do that. We can also have numbers. We can have different we can have numbers. We can have different symbols here, weird things. So the string is just a place where we can put any characters or any symbols. We have that. So this way of creating a string where we have double quotes actually lets us to add or place variables inside a string. And PHP, when it creates the string, it replaces this variable with its content, which is 34 here. So inside the message, we have a string that already contains not the variable, but the actual value of that variable. And then we echo this variable. So that's the string. This is a number. This is an integer. An integer is just a whole number without a decimal point. So something like 34 is an integer, 1 is an integer, minus 1 is an integer, minus very large number is an integer. As long as your number, positive or negative, doesn't have a decimal point, it's an integer, it's a whole number. If we have something like age, I'm 34 point, oh, sorry. Okay, this is 34.2. So it's a decimal number, it has a decimal point, and it's not an integer. In PHP, this is a float. And in PHP we have several so-called what's called data types. So different types of data. It can be a number, it can be a string, it can be more weird, more unusual to an unusual type of data if you are not a programmer. So it can be something like do you like apples variable, and it can be Boolean, so true, I do like apples. Or it can be something like users, and we'll have a null data type, which is just one value data type, and there is nothing, it represents nothing. So there there are 7 data types in PHP, and I'm just going all around the place and explaining all that. But as I said, I'm not prepared. So I'm not going to go into all the data types, but this is a float, this is a string. You can do that, and I would encourage you to try and run the code, not just watch the video, but run it and use different like numbers here, type in different messages. What I would like to show you is another way of creating a string. So this string uses double quotes, but we can have, for example, full name. We can have single quotes. So we can have our string within or being created with single quotes. Single quotes, they are a bit different from double quotes. It's I would say, a way of creating strings in PHP that has less features than double quotes. So for example, I cannot add variables, and I cannot insert any variable here. Like a variable here is just if I output this message, this variable, I'll see just this $age substring, because PHP doesn't respect variables inside single quoted strings. And like special symbols here, they're just outputted as is. So it's just a way of creating strings that is very limited. But on the upside of this, I right now, based on my experience, I don't know any good reason for creating single quoted strings. Yes, sometimes you can just, it's easier to type something like, for me right now on my keyboard, to create a double quoted string, I need to hold the shift key and then the quote key, or like the key that that puts. So additionally, I have to hold the shift key to put the double quotes, or here, and for single quotes, it's easier. I just press the key without holding a shift. So when I'm lazy, I do that, and when I don't need to inject a variable or something like this. But in general, using double quoted strings is great. Another feature that I would consider, sometimes it's useful. So in a double quoted string, if I put a double quote, if I want to output the double quote, so let me show you. So if I need to say something like, instead of, for whatever reason, instead of a single quote, let's okay, you've got an error here. So we've got a single quote here. So for let us go to the moon, let me put double quote, and now we'll have an error, parse error. That's because if I just use or add the double quote inside the string, this would mean that this is the start of our string, this is the end of our string. And now all the text that follows, it's just a wrong way. So PHP doesn't know what to do with all this text. We just ended the message, and this doesn't make sense for PHP. So to be able to have this double quote inside of the string, I need to put a backslash right before this double quote, and putting this backslash in front of a double quote is called escaping. So we escaped this double quote character with the backslash and now PHP Storm doesn't complain, and if I refresh the page, we've got this double quote outputted as part of our string. And you'll see in the future, this escaping technique when we put this backslash in front of the character that otherwise makes our that invalid, or makes an error here, creates an error here. Like, sometimes this helps. Okay, so, and with a single quoted string, I could use message, let's say message 2. So if I had this inside of the single quoted string, I can use double quotes without any escaping, because double quotes is not like, doesn't end the string. This single quote ends the string. And now we're just like, we outputted this as is. Great, but there is no variable parsing, so we need to handle this somehow. We need to handle this in another way. Okay, great. And for today, this is it. 30 minutes has passed, and I will see you tomorrow.